Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Cyrus the Great, exploring his unique role in biblical history through our toughest questions yet. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. Which books of the Bible mention Cyrus by name? A. Ezra and Nehemiah. B. Daniel and Ezekiel. C. Isaiah and Chronicles. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. Cyrus is mentioned by name in Ezra, Nehemiah, Daniel, Isaiah, and Chronicles, highlighting his significant role in biblical history, particularly in the prophecies and the restoration of Jerusalem. Question 2. What prophecy did Isaiah make about Cyrus? A. He would become a believer. B. He would destroy Babylon. C. He would decree the rebuilding of Jerusalem. D. He would convert to Judaism. Answer: C. He would decree the rebuilding of Jerusalem. Isaiah prophesied that Cyrus would issue a decree to rebuild Jerusalem and lay the foundation of the temple, Isaiah 44:28. A remarkable prophecy considering it was made about 150 years before Cyrus was born. Question 3. How did Cyrus contribute to the restoration of Jerusalem? By providing military assistance. B. By decreeing its reconstruction. C. By sending gold and silver. D. By relocating the Jewish people. Answer: B. By decreeing its reconstruction. Cyrus contributed to the restoration of Jerusalem by issuing a decree that allowed the exiled Jewish community to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple, as recorded in Ezra 1-1-4. Question 4. What title is given to Cyrus in the Bible that is unique among non-Jewish leaders? A. King of Kings. B. Shepherd of God. C. Lord's Messiah. D. Anointed One. Answer: D. Anointed One. Isaiah uniquely refers to Cyrus as the Lord's Anointed One, Isaiah 45:1, a title typically reserved for Jewish kings and significant for denoting God's special appointing for a Gentile ruler. Question 5. In what way did Cyrus fulfill God's plans according to the book of Ezra? A. By conquering many nations. B. By freeing the Jewish captives. C. By building synagogues. D. By studying Jewish law. Answer: B. By freeing the Jewish captives. According to Ezra, Cyrus fulfilled God's plans by issuing a decree that allowed the Jewish captives in Babylon to return to their homeland and rebuild the temple, thus ending the Babylonian exile. Question 6. What decree did Cyrus issue concerning the temple in Jerusalem? A. Its destruction. B. Its desecration. C. Its renovation. D. Its reconstruction. Answer: D. Its reconstruction. Cyrus issued a decree for the reconstruction of the temple in Jerusalem, as recorded in Ezra 1-2-4, which allowed the Jewish people to return and rebuild their place of worship. Question 7. What were the specific instructions Cyrus gave regarding the temple's reconstruction? A. Use of gold only. B. Dimensions and materials. C. Sacrifices to be made. D. Employment of specific architects. Answer: B. Dimensions and materials. Cyrus' decree included specific instructions about the dimensions and materials to be used for rebuilding the temple, ensuring its restoration according to the specifications similar to Solomon's temple. Question 8. How did Cyrus' policies towards captive nations differ from other empires of his time? A. He enslaved them further. B. He integrated them into Persian society. C. He allowed them religious and cultural freedom. D. He ignored their traditions. Answer C. He allowed them religious and cultural freedom. Cyrus was known for his policy of religious and cultural tolerance, allowing captive nations, including the Jews, to maintain their religious practices and cultural identities, which was notably different from other empires that sought to assimilate conquered peoples. Question 9. What was the relationship between Cyrus and Daniel? A. Enemies. B. Allies. C. Indifferent. D. None. Answer B. Allies. While the Bible does not detail extensive interactions between Cyrus and Daniel, it implies a positive relationship as Daniel prospered during the reign of Cyrus according to Daniel 6:28. Question 10. How does the book of Isaiah describe the purpose God had for Cyrus? A. To show God's power to the world. B. To punish the wicked. C. To spread Persian culture. D. To collect taxes. Answer A. To show God's power to the world. Isaiah describes Cyrus as someone chosen by God to fulfill divine purposes, specifically to demonstrate God's sovereignty and to accomplish his will on earth, particularly through the restoration of Jerusalem, Isaiah 45-113. Question 11. What items did Cyrus return to the Jews for rebuilding the temple? A. The Ark of the Covenant. B. Temple treasures. C. Scrolls and manuscripts. D. Religious garments. Answer B. Temple treasures. Cyrus returned the gold and silver vessels of the temple, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken to Babylon, to the returning exiles for use in the rebuilt temple, Ezra 1-711. Question 12. In which year of his reign did Cyrus issue his famous decree? A. First year. B. Fifth year. C. 10th year. D. Last year. Answer A. First year. Cyrus issued his decree allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple in the first year of his reign over Babylon, Ezra 1-1. Question 13. How did Cyrus impact the Jewish community economically? A. Imposed heavy taxes. B. Granted financial aid. C. Confiscated all wealth. D. Encouraged trade. Answer B. Granted financial aid. Cyrus not only allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem, but also granted them financial aid, providing resources for the reconstruction of the temple and supporting the economic stability of the returning exiles. Question 14. What biblical prophet lived during the time of Cyrus? A. Elijah. B. Jeremiah. C. Daniel. D. Isaiah. Answer C. Daniel. Daniel lived during the time of Cyrus and continued to serve in the Persian court after Cyrus's conquest of Babylon, as mentioned in the book of Daniel. Question 15. How did the Persians under Cyrus treat the religious customs of the lands they conquered? A. They imposed Zoroastrianism. B. They destroyed all temples. C. They respected and often restored them. D. They converted all people. Answer C. They respected and often restored them. Cyrus and the Persians were known for their respect towards the religious customs and sacred sites of the lands they conquered, often restoring temples and allowing people to practice their religions freely, which included the restoration of the Jewish temple. Question 16. What is the significance of Cyrus's cylinder in understanding biblical history? A. It mentions his conquest of Babylon. B. It corroborates the biblical account of his policies of tolerance. C. It contradicts his depiction in the Bible. D. It lists his military campaigns. Answer B. It corroborates the biblical account of his policies of tolerance. Cyrus's cylinder is a crucial archaeological find that provides independent confirmation of the biblical portrayal of Cyrus as a ruler who practiced religious and cultural tolerance, specifically mentioning his efforts to restore temples and allow exiled peoples to return to their homelands. Question 17. What legacy did Cyrus leave for future Persian kings in terms of religious tolerance? A. He established a state religion. B. He restricted religious freedoms. C. He set a precedent for religious tolerance. D. He ignored religious matters. Answer C. He set a precedent for religious tolerance. Cyrus' policy of religious tolerance, including his respect for the customs and religions of the lands he conquered, set a precedent that many Persian kings attempted to follow, influencing the empire's governance style. Question 18. How does the Bible describe the wealth that Cyrus commanded? At limited. B. Moderate. C. Excessive. D. Vast. Answer D. Vast. The Bible implies that Cyrus commanded vast wealth, particularly in the context of the treasures he returned to the Jews for rebuilding the temple, reflecting the extensive resources at his disposal. Question 19. In what manner did Cyrus' rule fulfill Jeremiah's prophecy? A. By conquering Egypt. B. By ending the Babylonian captivity. C. By destroying Jerusalem. D. By converting to Judaism. Answer B. By ending the Babylonian captivity. Jeremiah prophesied that the Babylonian captivity would last for 70 years, and Cyrus's decree allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem effectively ended this period of exile, fulfilling Jeremiah's prophecy. Question 20. What was the name of Cyrus' father according to historical records outside the Bible? A. Darius. B. Cambyses I. C. Xerxes. D. Artaxerxes. Answer B. Cambyses I. Historical records indicate that Cyrus' father was Cambyses I, an earlier king of Anshan who belonged to the Achaemenid dynasty. Question 21. What architectural projects did Cyrus undertake that benefited the Jews? At palaces in Susa. B. The Hanging Gardens. C. Restoration of the Jerusalem Temple. D. Fortifications in Babylon. Answer C. Restoration of the Jerusalem Temple. Cyrus did not directly undertake architectural projects for the Jews, but his decree facilitated the rebuilding of the Jerusalem Temple, indirectly supporting this significant architectural and religious project. Question 22. How did Cyrus' military strategy affect his portrayal in the Bible? A. Negatively, as a ruthless conqueror. B. Positively, as a liberator. C. As a tactician. D. As a peacemaker. Answer B. Positively, as a liberator. Cyrus' military strategy, which often involved liberating peoples and restoring their places of worship, contributed to a positive portrayal in the Bible, particularly as a liberator of the Jewish people from Babylonian captivity. Question 23. What role did Cyrus' family play in the governance of the Persian Empire? A. They held ceremonial positions. B. They were mainly advisors. C. They governed provinces. D. They had no role. Answer: C. They governed provinces. Members of Cyrus' family, including his son Cambyses, played significant roles in the governance of the Persian Empire, often ruling large and important provinces or succeeding him directly. Question 24. How did Cyrus' death impact the Jewish reconstruction efforts? A. It accelerated the efforts. B. It had no impact. C. It temporarily halted them. D. It ended them. Answer: C. It temporarily halted them. Cyrus's death led to a period of uncertainty and initially slowed the Jewish reconstruction efforts, as subsequent rulers reassessed the policies he had put in place. Question 25. How do modern historians view Cyrus's rule compared to the biblical account? A. As more tyrannical. B. As less significant. C. Generally consistent with the biblical portrayal. And D. Completely differently. Answer: C. Generally consistent with the biblical portrayal. Modern historians often view Cyrus's rule as generally consistent with the biblical portrayal, particularly his policies of tolerance and restoration, which are supported by archaeological evidence like the Cyrus Cylinder. Question 26. What archaeological evidence supports the biblical account of Cyrus? A. Inscriptions in Egypt. B. The Cyrus Cylinder. C. Artifacts in Jerusalem. D. Greek manuscripts. Answer: B. The Cyrus Cylinder. The Cyrus Cylinder, an ancient clay artifact, provides key archaeological evidence supporting the biblical account of Cyrus' policies of repatriation and religious tolerance. Question 27. What were the immediate effects of Cyrus's decree on the Jewish population? A. Displacement. B. Enslavement. C. Empowerment and return to Jerusalem. D. Conversion to Zoroastrianism. Answer: C. Empowerment and return to Jerusalem. The immediate effect of Cyrus's decree was the empowerment of the Jewish population, who were given the resources and authorization to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. Question 28. How did Cyrus' policies influence Jewish religious practices? A. They were restricted. B. They flourished due to the freedom he granted. C. They were syncretized with Persian beliefs. D. They remained unchanged. Answer: B. They flourished due to the freedom he granted. Cyrus' policies of religious tolerance allowed Jewish religious practices to flourish, as he enabled the Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple, practicing their religion freely. Question 29. What alliances did Cyrus form that are mentioned in the Bible? A. With Egypt. B. With Babylon. C. None mentioned. D. With Greece. Answer: C. None mentioned. The Bible does not specifically mention any alliances formed by Cyrus. His actions are primarily described in the context of his decree and its effects on the Jewish people. Question 30. How was Cyrus viewed by other contemporary cultures and religions? A. As a liberator. B. As a tyrant. C. As a god. D. As a peacemaker. Answer: A. As a liberator. Cyrus was viewed by many contemporary cultures, especially those he liberated or governed with tolerance, as a liberator, a perspective that is also reflected in how the Bible views his rule and actions. Question 31. What was Cyrus' approach to governance and administration? Authoritarian control. B. Decentralized governance. C. Democratic governance. D. Militaristic rule. Answer B. Decentralized governance. Cyrus is known for implementing a decentralized system of governance, allowing local leaders to maintain some degree of power, which helped stabilize and manage the vast Persian Empire effectively. Question 32. How did Cyrus's rule affect the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East? A. It caused widespread destruction. B. It led to significant peace and stability. C. It isolated Persia. D. It decreased trade. Answer B. It led to significant peace and stability. Cyrus' policies and military conquests significantly altered the geopolitical landscape by creating a vast empire that brought various cultures under a single administrative framework, fostering periods of peace and economic prosperity. Question 33. What prophecies concerning other nations did Cyrus have a role in fulfilling? A. The destruction of Nineveh. B. The fall of Jerusalem. C. The rebuilding of the temple. D. The exile of the northern tribes. Answer C. The rebuilding of the temple. Cyrus played a crucial role in fulfilling biblical prophecies by issuing a decree that allowed the Jewish exiles to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple, as foretold by prophets like Isaiah and Jeremiah. Question 34. How is Cyrus' respect for human rights reflected in biblical texts? A. Through his cruel punishments. B. Through his tolerance and restoration policies. C. Through his military conquests. D. Through his religious conversions. Answer B. Through his tolerance and restoration policies. The Bible reflects positively on Cyrus' respect for human rights through his policies of tolerance, allowing exiled peoples to return home and restore their temples, which is also supported by historical records like the Cyrus Cylinder. Question 35. How did Cyrus' religious beliefs influence his policies? A. Led to persecution of other faiths. B. Fostered religious freedom. C. Promoted Zoroastrianism exclusively. D. Restricted religious practices. Answer B. Fostered religious freedom. Cyrus' policies were influenced by his presumably Zoroastrian belief in a moral order and respect for other religions, leading him to support religious freedom and the restoration of temples. Question 36. What was the fate of Cyrus' empire after his death according to the Bible? A. It expanded further. B. It quickly disintegrated. C. It maintained stability for a while. D. It is not mentioned. Answer C. It maintained stability for a while. While the Bible does not specifically detail the fate of Cyrus' empire after his death, it continued under his successors, maintaining stability and expanding before eventually facing challenges. Question 37. How did the Persian culture under Cyrus influence the Jewish way of life? A. Led to assimilation. B. Encouraged cultural exchange. C. Created conflicts. D. No influence mentioned. Answer B. Encouraged cultural exchange. The Persian culture under Cyrus, known for its tolerance and administrative efficiency, influenced the Jewish community, encouraging cultural exchange and revitalizing their religious practices without forcing assimilation. Question 38. What was Cyrus' strategy for integrating conquered peoples? A. Forceful assimilation. B. Cultural domination. C. Respect and autonomy. D. Economic exploitation. Answer: C. Respect and autonomy. Cyrus's strategy for integrating conquered peoples involved respecting their customs and granting them a degree of autonomy, which helped in maintaining peace and loyalty within his empire. Question 39. How did Cyrus handle economic policies within his vast empire? A. Imposed heavy taxes. B. Promoted trade and infrastructure. C. Neglected economic development. D. Focused solely on agriculture. Answer: B. Promoted trade and infrastructure. Cyrus is noted for his promotion of trade and development of infrastructure, which included roads that facilitated trade across the empire, contributing to economic prosperity. Question 40. What were Cyrus' views on justice and law as mentioned in the Bible? A. Harsh and punitive. B. Fair and just. C. Indifferent. D. Non-existent. Answer: B. Fair and just. Although not detailed extensively in the Bible, Cyrus's approach to justice and law, as reflected in historical records and implied in his policies, was fair and aimed at maintaining order and rights within his empire. Question 41. How did Cyrus's reign compare to that of Nebuchadnezzar in biblical terms? A. More brutal. B. Less impactful. C. More benevolent. D. Equally tyrannical. Answer: C. More benevolent. In biblical terms, Cyrus's reign is often viewed more benevolently compared to Nebuchadnezzar's. While Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Jerusalem and exiled the Jews, Cyrus allowed them to return and rebuild, marking a stark contrast in their legacies. Question 42. What diplomatic measures did Cyrus employ that are recorded in the Bible? A. Espionage. B. Treaties and alliances. C. Diplomatic marriages. D. None mentioned. Answer: D. None mentioned. The Bible does not specifically mention any diplomatic measures employed by Cyrus, focusing more on his decrees and interactions with the Jewish people. Question 43. How did Cyrus' upbringing influence his leadership style? A. Made him ruthless. B. Encouraged humility. C. Fostered a sense of destiny. D. Led to isolation. Answer: C. Fostered a sense of destiny. Cyrus' upbringing, as part of the Persian nobility and possibly influenced by Zoroastrian principles, is thought to have fostered a sense of destiny and divine appointment, which influenced his tolerant and strategic leadership style. Question 44. What were the long-term impacts of Cyrus' decree for the Jewish people? A. Cultural dissolution. B. Religious reformation. C. Strengthened Jewish identity. D. Increased conflicts. Answer: C. Strengthened Jewish identity. The long-term impacts of Cyrus' decree for the Jewish people included the strengthening of their religious and cultural identity, as they were able to return to their homeland, rebuild the temple, and re-establish their religious practices. Question 45. How did Cyrus manage the diversity of religions in his empire? A. Suppression. B. Tolerance and support. C. Forced conversions. D. Ignorance. Answer: B. Tolerance and support. Cyrus managed the diversity of religions in his empire through tolerance and support, allowing various groups to practice their religions freely and restore their places of worship. Question 46. What similarities exist between Cyrus and biblical figures in terms of leadership? A. Military prowess. B. Visionary projects. C. Compassionate governance. D. Prophetic insights. Answer C. Compassionate governance. Similar to some biblical figures like King David, Cyrus exhibited compassionate governance, showing mercy, respecting different cultures, and implementing policies that benefited his subjects. Question 47. How is Cyrus remembered in Jewish tradition outside of the Bible? A. Negatively. B. As a minor figure. C. As a messianic figure. D. Positively as a liberator. Answer D. Positively as a liberator. In Jewish tradition outside of the Bible, Cyrus is remembered positively as a liberator who ended the Babylonian captivity and enabled the Jews to return to Jerusalem, reflecting a profound respect for his contributions to their history. Question 48. What lessons can contemporary leaders learn from Cyrus' biblical portrayal? A. The effectiveness of tyranny. B. The value of cultural tolerance. C. The benefits of isolationism. D. The importance of military conquest. Answer B. The value of cultural tolerance. Contemporary leaders can learn from Cyrus's biblical portrayal the value of cultural tolerance and religious freedom, which helped maintain peace and stability in his diverse empire and left a lasting positive legacy. Question 49. How did Cyrus's governance model influence later biblical leaders? A. It was largely ignored. B. It was criticized. C. It was emulated. D. It was opposed. Answer C. It was emulated. Cyrus's governance model, particularly his policies of tolerance and support for local customs, influenced later biblical leaders who saw the benefits of such approaches in maintaining peace and prosperity in diverse societies. Question 50. What challenges did Cyrus face during his reign that are similar to biblical challenges? A. Maintaining a vast empire. B. Dealing with famine. C. Confronting plagues. D. Managing natural disasters. Answer A. Maintaining a vast empire. Like many biblical leaders who faced the challenge of governing large and diverse populations, Cyrus faced the challenge of maintaining control and stability across a vast empire, requiring strategic governance and effective administration.